And welcome to the Albert and Billy Show on Channel 18 Valley TV, WUAT Radio, and YouTube. Hello, Papa.
What else?
We've not come up with nothing yet, but I'm sure we will.
Are we on the national scene?
We're on the national scene, buddy.
Are we on the national scene?
YouTube, yes. I told you we went viral several times now.
If I get a call from Paris, France, may I answer it?
Well, sure. Bonjour.
Yeah, but what if it's I have to pay the charges? That would be good.
Yeah, that's not good.
But
That's not
viral,
good.
that means it just exploded?
Yeah, yeah. 30,000 views. A few of them got to that point.
But
That's
you
a
know,
lot of people.
I don't think I've seen the first word about us in our local paper. We
Well-
can't get out of Pikeville.
Well, we'll have to do an interview with them, won't we?
I know Sandy
All right,
Dodson
Sandy,
pretty well.
if you're watching.
I was just thinking, if we go all over the world, and
Now we gotta get in the paper, right? Okay.
but the ladies in Dunlap know us, don't they?
Yes, they do. Ladies in Dunlap love us.
Yeah.
We're very popular in Dunlap. Thanks to all of our listeners and viewers in Dunlap. We appreciate you.
But people are real.
Ruby's real good to us.
Ruby, yeah. I know. I've learned.
So hello, Miss Ruby.
But I everywhere I go, I get. Last night when I walked in to get our supper, the lady behind the desk said, "Albert, I watch you every day." Robert Smith was behind her, and he said, "How come Addie don't know more about Gone with the Wind than she does?"
That's funny. That's funny.
But
Allie.
Robert is watching too.
Oh yeah. I can't. Yeah. Everywhere I go, same thing.
Yeah. So it's
Same
good.
thing.
Thanks to Addie doing the filming
Yes.
and the television station, Channel 18.
Yes. Allie does
Bledsoe-
the filming and
Bledsoe
production.
Telephone Co-op. And our sponsors that keep us on the air.
Yes, thanks to everybody. Well, we got a few announcements. Speaking of the Bledsoe, here's some community happenings. I didn't get to grab them. I didn't get to grab our announcements up there, so that's okay. That's what the Bledsoe's for. We use the community announcements.
As long as you've got our list of sponsors. There you go.
We got them, Papa.
I love those sponsors.
Well, let's see. There's an open table at the Pikeville United Methodist Church coming up June 20th, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It's a perfect way to celebrate summer. You need to go check one of those out. You'd
You know,
like
I was
it.
thinking that, but they only give you an hour to eat. It takes me a long
Well,
time to eat.
it does. That's true, folks. It takes forever.
I could take it with me.
You could. I don't think they're going to run you out.
No.
I don't
Well,
think that's going to happen.
I got some good friends down there.
Yeah.
Hey, Cliff goes there. Did you know that?
He does, yes. And there's no charge, no offering, no sermon. It's nothing but friendship and food. This table is open to all, and it's always, they do this once a month, folks. It's called the Open Table at the Pikeville United Methodist Church, and I think they do it every third Thursday. Tuesday, that's right. Every third Tuesday of the month. So go check it out. It's a good thing that they're doing down at the Methodist Church.
Wonder what's on the menu Tuesday.
You know, it doesn't, well, yeah, Cajun stew.
All right, Cajun stew.
Cajun stew. That's a
That'll be a first for me.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be a kids' day count in the thing you're going to be talking about.
I want to talk about that.
It's kindergarten through 6th grade. It's to a Christian kids' day count, June 20th to the 23rd at the newly developed Manderley Christian Camp and Convention Center on 100 Manderley Lane. Parents can drop kids off from 8 to 8:45 a.m. for energetic and exciting Bible teaching, singing, fun, and games from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And this camp is free as a gift to the kids of Bledsoe County. You can't beat that.
Have you ever been to the Manderley Farm?
Manderley Farm, so it's down by there.
Have you ever been there?
Mm-hmm. So it's on Upper East Valley Road.
No, Lower East Valley Road.
Is Manderley on Lower? Yeah, okay, I got the farms mixed up. But I've been to Manderley Farms, that's Lower East Valley. You're right.
When I preached for Ronnie Calvert at Wesley Chapel one day,
Mm-hmm.
after the service was over, they took me down there for a meal.
Oh, good.
First class.
Good. Oh, I bet.
First class.
I bet. I'm glad they got this open. That's a good thing for
Good
Bledsoe
thing,
County.
good thing.
The summer concert series is kicked off at Fall Creek Falls Each Saturday you can go to a concert at the amphitheater by the swimming pool out at the park. And as an example, this Saturday, it'll be the band Blue Cumberland will be playing. They'll be there from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. If any of their concerts get rained out, that's okay. They go to the rec hall, so don't have to worry about it getting canceled. And most of their concerts for the summer concert series is $3 per person. Can't beat that.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So tell us about some stories out of the Bledsonian there.
3 things I want to talk about. Number 1 is that Christian camp down at Manderley Farms. Also, they have a conference center that's opening up too.
Yeah.
And this deal, I guess it's been in the making for a good while, but it's a joint effort by the CEO and president of Virginia-based Renew a Nation Ministries.
Okay.
Mr. Jeff Keaton is with that organization, and then a local resident by the name of Jerry Aldridge had the dream for this to happen since back in 2016.
And she owns the property.
Right.
Yes.
So June the 20th to 24th will be the opening of the new facility for local children. Now, Keaton's organization is very busy teaching children a Christian worldview. There's going to be I'm not going to use the word barrage, but they will have plenty of exposure to Christian ethical teachings, practical teachings, and everything while they're there. They will have the children there during this day camp for 6 hours. They will be fed a meal while there, and it's free.
Yeah, that's really nice that they're doing that.
But there are, I believe, 13 cabins. There are 13 cabins on the property. And each cabin is 600 square foot. They have a convention center that has 2 large rooms, each with private, handicap accessible bathrooms and showers.
I think we need to talk to Miss Jerry. That would be a good filming location for our show, wouldn't it? And to show off the new business in town.
Well, each of the 13 cabins will sleep 8 people. So everything is, I mean, it's just a good thing. I think...
We'll call it the Albert Billy Show Goes to Camp.
I think their plans are to have as many as 40 different usages during the year. 40 weeks of different things coming in and going out, you know. Good. You know, our kids from our church go to Fall Creek Falls every year for a camp. And I think they're out there this next week.
Probably.
But it's just a tremendous thing. Okay, my second item of interest on the front page is the Bledsoe Band of Blue.
Yeah, we've been talking about that on the radio, haven't we?
They had first day of registration, and then they have a second day coming up June the 24th.
Yes.
So it tells here how many have already, 21 is how many have signed up so far.
That's a good number for one day.
Well, that's middle school and high school too. So we'll wait and see how many signs up in the next group.
Hopefully a lot more.
June the 24th, I believe.
June the 24th, that's correct.
Okay, located just 2 doors down from my home that was built in 1962, I now have the municipal building complex of Bledsoe County's seat of operations, Pikeville, Tennessee.
That's
right
true.
There, close by. I can walk down there and pay my water bill.
I know it. They done that just for you.
I'm sure. But anyway, they are open in their new headquarters.
Yeah.
They're not complete.
Right.
They're working everywhere. I went down the other day and paid my water bill and picked up nails. But they will take your money. They're just not, they're not through yet. But anyway, it is going to be a tremendous asset. They will have a drive-through window. And so you don't have to get out of your car and when it's raining, cats and dogs.
I'm glad to see that property get used. It's sat vacant for many years.
Oh yeah.
So that's great.
I'm amazed. It's almost miraculous that did not get just torn down.
Oh yeah, I was afraid that's what would happen.
As being unusable in its state that it was in.
Yes.
But now the paving is 3/4 done, I'd say. I can drive to town now and go in that direction instead of going out by the cemetery.
That's true.
I don't have to go out and
That's
Squatchy Road.
true, yeah.
But what's so confusing?
You got it made there, Papa.
I'm going to live on a street that has two names.
Mm-hmm.
The name of my street now is College Street,
Mm-hmm.
which is a dead-end street.
That's true.
So now they have a name for the a new name for the street. Let's see now. The new name is going to be what? Well, anyway, you get to keep College Street, but the new name is Municipal Drive.
Okay. I was beginning to wonder if he was going to
Well,
find
you can
it.
use I don't understand. You can use either designation for that street.
I like that.
So
That's
when
pretty wild, isn't it?
I live on College Street, Municipal Avenue.
There you go.
Street and Avenue. Anyway,
Well, that's great.
I think that the mayor of our town and the aldermen are to be congratulated for hanging in there.
I do too. I think that's a
And like I say,
great
they're
thing.
not through. They're not through.
Right.
But it's got a picture on the front page on their first meeting
Yeah.
in the new municipal building.
It's a tongue twister, isn't it? Well, let's check out last week's trivia, Papa.
I just happen to have it ready.
All right. I don't remember how I done last week. Seems like they were a little tough.
Seems like last week's been a long time.
I know, we've slept since then, haven't we?
With which team do you associate the name?
Oh, and before you do that, I need to make an announcement. Remember, last episode, I thought that was the episode
That I would not be
before
back.
you were having your surgery. Obviously, I was wrong. This is his last episode for a couple weeks. He's having his surgery.
They changed it. They changed it.
They changed it, okay. Well, then that's why.
So now I'm having it on the 19th, which will be Monday.
Okay. So not completely crazy. I knew something.
Unless something happens, my arm gets torn off, or I die, I will have surgery Monday morning. Listen, I have to be there at
I listened.
3:15 my time.
Can you believe
Torn
he
off.
said that? 3:15, that is extremely early. I believe I just spent the night before.
Your mother has to take me.
Oh, man. You better buy her some breakfast or supper for that one.
I don't think I'll even go to bed.
I know it.
Well,
Okay.
Okay, with which team do you associate the name Papa Joe?
Penn State.
Penn State.
It took me a minute to
what
think
was his
of
last
it.
name?
Joe Paterno.
Paterno. Very good. You're 1 for 1, batting 1,000.
Yeah, but they get tougher.
But you didn't know this one. With which team do you associate the name Scrappy Moore?
Yeah, because it was way before my time. I didn't know.
But Scrappy Moore was the coach at UTC for many, many years.
Really?
I don't know how many years, really.
Football?
Yeah, he stayed there and stayed there and stayed there. Okay, and you didn't know this next one. With which team do you associate the name Paul Horning? And you didn't know that.
No. What sport was it?
Football. Notre Dame. Notre Dame. You don't like me to say that, do you?
No, because nobody says that.
Or with which team do you associate the name Darrell Royal? Football now.
Okay. Did I guess at it last week?
I think you did. Darrell Royal.
You don't remember what I said, do you, Allie? Darrell Royal, Alabama.
Texas.
Dang it, Texas.
Longhorns.
Yes.
How do you do the Longhorn sign? How'd they do that?
Yeah, you're doing it right.
I don't know how you
You're
do
doing it.
But he was coach there for many years. Many years.
That's right. Yeah, you saying that, I did know that. Because he was a big-time coach there,
Big
wasn't
time. And you know, I think Texas orange is not far from Tennessee orange. Texas color is not too far from Tennessee.
Oh, I agree. Theirs is burnt orange.
Burnt.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're very similar.
Now, you did get this one. With which team do you
did.
associate the name John Smoltz?
Atlanta Braves.
Baseball.
It took me a long time to figure it out, remember?
Now, do you remember ever
He
seeing
was
him
a-
pitch?
Yes, he was
Yeah.
a great pitcher.
He was a good pitcher.
He was a pitcher for the Braves in their heyday.
Yeah.
You know, they won a championship with him, and he's been to several finals.
Oh, yeah.
And they've not really been the same since.
Well, they've
They've never recovered
they
from
had
that.
some good pitchers. When they came,
They did.
Originally they were in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Milwaukee Braves.
Okay.
Back then they had a great pitcher named Warren Spahn. They had a pitcher named Johnny Sain. They had nobody else. So the media picked up on that and they said, well, we'll pitch Warren Spahn today, we'll pitch Johnny Sain tomorrow, and then we'll pray for rain. And everybody pitched on 3 days rest, so Warren Spahn would come back to pitch the next year.
When did they move from Milwaukee to Atlanta, you think?
Well, I don't remember how many, but I was alive.
They've been in Atlanta for a long time, though,
well,
right?
They're in their second stadium right now. They're in their third one.
Third? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe they've been there since the 60s?
Oh, yeah. Well, the first game we went to see was in Atlanta.
Okay.
Carol and I went to see the Dodgers.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And we got to see Sandy Koufax pitch in the first game we went to. We didn't know he was pitching.
Okay.
And the
What a surprise for you then.
Pitcher for the Braves, I believe, was Denny LeMaster. And we got to see a 2-1 ball game, 3 home runs. The Dodgers only hit 1. So guess who won?
I hate that for you.
Okay, with which team do you associate the name Kenny Stabler? You can give me one of 2 teams that he played for, college and pros.
What sport?
Football.
Kenny Stabler.
Stabler.
Maybe he's the one that played for Alabama.
Yes, he was. He was good.
I knew somebody on that
But
list.
he went on
did.
and played in the pros for many years.
Okay, who did he play for? Did he play with one team for the most part?
Yeah.
The Steelers. That's my favorite team. So
I know it is. He played for the Oakland Raiders.
The Raiders. That's right.
Now, my next
I
question.
guessed it that last. Got it.
Yeah. Okay,
Can't
but
believe
now,
I forgot that.
now the next question I asked was, what was his nickname? And I can't tell you how he got the nickname. I don't know where nicknames come from. But we discussed nicknames. You cannot tie some of the people that you know with the nickname they have.
That's true.
How do you get a nickname? I don't know.
No clue.
Do you know anybody that has a nickname other
Yeah.
than their name?
Yeah.
Who?
I mean, you're putting me on the spot,
Well,
but I know
said you
I
knew
know
some.
some people. Yeah. Well, we were just talking about Winky. That's a nickname.
Okay, what's Winky's name? Do you even know?
Philip.
I couldn't remember being. Yeah, you're right, Philip.
And that's your kinfolk there. You can't
But
remember.
his brother,
Well, we always call him Winky. That's why.
he's got more than one brother, but one of his brothers
Edward
is Edward
Lynn.
Lynn. Well, you get both names. But with Winky, you got none.
True.
Because Winky is I don't know where a nickname comes from.
I don't know.
But now this football player had a nickname.
I guess you're just going to tell me. I can't think of it.
The Snake.
The Snake
Now, see,
for
how
a
did-
football player.
What does it have to do with being a quarterback?
Not anything.
He was left-handed, but still that doesn't say anything about
That
a
don't
snake.
make me think of a snake just because somebody's left-handed. That might be the dumbest nickname I've heard in a while. It's pretty dumb.
I had nicknames when I was in school.
Well, that's good.
Well, they didn't stick, but my grandfather gave me a nickname too when I was a little boy.
Right.
Every time I'd go down to my grandfather's house, there was a little general store out nearby that you could walk to, and you could
That's
buy
convenient.
you could buy candy for a penny. I mean, you can't buy candy for a penny now.
You
but
can't buy anything with a penny now.
You could buy a stamp. But anyway, I would ask him for money to go buy the candy, so I'd ask for a penny. So he started calling me Pinch Penny.
Albert the penny pitcher.
Then all through school, I was Alb.
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 Okay. I guess they just shortened your name.
And then even last night, my Cold Springs pastor, Brother Con, he called me Al.
Al. Oh, that's even shorter. Alb to Al.
Well, now you don't have a nickname, but you know what? People out there, you know what his real name is?
Are you going to do that to me, really?
I don't have to, but Billy is not your name.
Well,
you remember his name?
it comes from William. Johnny William Paul Bridges. I can't believe you've done that to me.
I didn't do it. You
No,
did
you
it
just
yourself.
put me on blast.
You did it yourself.
Well, you were going to say it.
Oh, I might have.
I believe you were up to no good. You was going to say it.
But I'm just saying, people know you as Billy. They don't know you
Yeah.
as Johnny William Paul.
No, Billy, short for William.
Do you remember who named you? Who gave you that name?
I guess my parents.
No.
Well, then I don't know.
No. Arito gave you the name Billy Bob.
Oh, really?
You remember that?
Macarito?
Macarito named you
Okay.
Billy Bob after that.
That's right.
Because your mother gave you the Billy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Who would want to say William,
I know,
Johnny
I sure
William
don't.
Paul? What, you shouldn't have to learn to spell it all.
No, you
Billy
shouldn't.
is just 5
It's like
letters.
they couldn't make up their mind. They went crazy with the names there.
You know why, don't you?
Grandpas.
They wanted somebody in there, they want a
From
name
each
in
family.
there that had me tied to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, guess what? Vicky's husband wanted the same thing.
I know.
So,
Daddy did too, so
aren't
there
you
we
glad-
go.
Aren't you glad you didn't wind up with 5 or 6 names?
I'm
Okay,
surprised that they didn't do more.
next question. With which team do you associate the name James Franklin? You got that one.
I did. Oh, Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. But he went from Vanderbilt to the New
Penn
York.
State.
That's where he is now.
Yes.
He's not done badly. He
Well,
didn't do
he's-
bad at Vanderbilt.
He did great at Vanderbilt.
But at Penn
'cause
State, he
They had
had
no tradition.
the whole world against him.
Oh, I know.
He
He's
didn't have anything
really,
over. Why would he accept that child?
he's got some guts.
Got
He
some
accepted it for money, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure that had something to do with it, but
And wants
also
to be known as the one who turned Penn State around.
Resurrected.
Brought them back to their glory days.
okay, resurrected.
I think that's a big,
But I believe he must have had a
Reason
bad
why.
taste in his mouth for something. Something must have happened at Vanderbilt. I don't know what it
probably.
was.
Probably.
But the SEC, I think, is your premier conference. And
I
he
do
was here.
too.
He was here,
I agree.
and he chose to jump ship.
He did. Had to be a good
But
reason
now,
for
I'm
it.
like you. I'm sure there's more money because
I'm sure
Vanderbilt
they are.
is not a sports-oriented school.
No, they're academics.
They're academic, and if you want to play ball, they'll let you play ball, but they will not entice you. They will not make it a little under the table deal with you to give you a little money to live on.
No.
You've
no.
got to come out there after you get through your lessons.
You do, that's true.
But I admire them.
Yeah.
But they have had All-America players at Vanderbilt. I've seen them play.
Mm-hmm.
They made All-America.
Oh, yeah.
They were good.
Yeah.
And they could beat Tennessee.
I agree.
With which team do you associate the name Brett Favre? Brett has
Green-
retired, you know.
Green Bay.
He does the advertising for some blue jeans.
Yeah, he does. That's right.
I don't remember which one it is.
I can't remember.
Wrangler? I don't remember.
Maybe. I can't remember.
But he does a good job with the advertising too, because he'll be out there doing a little backyard football, you know.
He's making good money doing that. I mean, can you imagine how much
Players-
money they're paying him?
Players that can gain some notoriety in the sport they play and establish themselves, basketball or football or baseball or whatever, they know that they can get a pretty good paycheck just
Yeah.
by doing a little advertising.
Absolutely.
What's the name of the big basketball player that's doing the icy patch? Icy hall.
Don't
Shaq.
know. Oh, is he doing
Shaquille
that now?
O'Neal.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Yeah. And he has that big
He does
smile.
a few. He does a few commercials. Yeah.
Yeah. And
He's even done
Michael
some
Jordan,
acting, actually.
Michael Jordan has done
Yeah.
some.
He made a lot of money off endorsements too. A lot of money.
Well, I mean, they get a contract from one of your sports or Nike or Adidas or whatever.
That's where they make a lot of money.
I mean, all you got to do is put your name on that little piece of paper and say, "I'll represent you," and then all you got to do is go on the news and just be yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Golfers do well.
Candace Parker probably does the best at that on the women's side. She has the most endorsements.
Not many women are asked, though. Did you realize that?
Exactly. That's why, she's about the only one. So she should feel good. I think her looks play a role in that too, though. She's a pretty woman.
Pretty woman.
I think that definitely plays a hand in that.
But talented.
But very talented.
But the reason that you're going to listen to the pitch they pitch is because of their record, their establishment in the sport they were in.
That's
because
true.
you respected them or you loved them for what they did and how they did it. So if they're going to say to you, "I want you to comb your hair a certain way or use my hairspray,"
a lot of people go out and do that. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
it's crazy, but true.
But what they're doing, they're lengthening their earning days by having that to fall back on.
Yeah, it's smart.
Many of your sports characters wind up getting behind that microphone.
That's what I was sitting there thinking. They start commentating.
And then they extend their careers that way.
That way.
What's the difference in a career and a job?
Well, a career, you stick at it. It's for years. It's a career.
You stay at it.
Yeah. A job is just a job that you may have for a little while, but it's just until you can find something else.
So a person needs to approach life from the standpoint of what do I need to do what do I want to throw my lot with as a career rather than a job to get me a paycheck each week.
Exactly.
Like maybe getting into the communications business with the local telephone company.
There you go. Yeah. Or the radio station.
Or a race car driver.
Well, you went from one extreme to another there. Well, that's it for last week's trivia and our announcements. We'll be back after the break for this week's trivia, and we'll have some sports for you. So keep right here. You're watching the Albert and Billy Show.
See you, folks.
All right, welcome back to the Albert and Billy Show. And it's time for this week's trivia, Papa. So what you got for us?
Did you relax after that while on break?
I did.
Those breaks don't last long enough.
No, they don't.
This week's trivia, I want to see how well you do. Name 4 of the most famous frontiersmen you studied about.
Frontiersmen like Davy Crockett.
That's one.
Some of them. Daniel Boone.
That's 2.
Lifeline.
That's just 2.
I know, I'm hollering for my lifelines. She's in deep thought, can you tell?
Deep thought. Well, I see a burrowed furrow on her brow. All right. In Greek mythology, what was the name of
Is Lewis and Clark frontiersmen?
They would be explorers, yes.
Explorers,
you could call them frontiersmen.
Okay.
But that's not, they're not real. They were,
No, they either are or they're not. You're
why are
stumbling.
they famous? Why are they famous?
No, you didn't ask that part. They're
Well,
frontiersmen. That's why.
No, they're not.
They're explorers, that's why.
But they're not well-known frontiersmen. That's all they did. Louisiana Purchase.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all right. That's all they did.
In Greek mythology, yeah, but there's more. You should have studied them. You should have read about them.
Well, it's been a while back there, Papa.
One of them had a big knife named after him.
Big knife named after him, huh?
In Greek mythology, what was the name of the 9-headed serpent?
I really don't know my Greek mythology, so Allie, I hope you do. I don't know hardly anything about that.
Okay, I bet you know the god of the sea.
Oh yeah, Poseidon, or whatever.
Poseidon is one, but Neptune.
Poseidon and Neptune.
Yeah. Okay. What about Hercules? Question number 3. Question number 3. Question number 3. What is the name of the state song of our neighbor to the north, and who wrote it?
Which neighbor to the north?
Kentucky.
Wow, in the world would I know their state song?
You should have heard it.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I'm not going to sing it because you don't like my singing. I need to take singing lessons.
You know? Allie, do you know it?
Number 4.
Dang it. What was the second part to the question?
Who wrote it?
Oh, well, I don't even know the song, so I definitely don't know who wrote it. That is very tough right there, Papa. That's a little hard.
If I told you some of the songs he wrote, you might have known him.
Okay.
Well, you probably don't know those songs because those were written in 1840.
Well, then
Question.
probably not.
Question number 4. There are 4 states that share in the dual role as commonwealths rather than state. Name at least 2 of those 4.
That were Commonwealths, Virginia.
Virginia's 1. Boy, you're good. I didn't think you'd get 1. Commonwealths. There are 4.
There's 4 Commonwealths. Allie, you not know any? Boy, she is really slacking on me lately, Papa. Have you noticed that?
Well, not only that, she doesn't know anything about Gone with the Wind. According to Robert Smith. Okay.
Is Maryland one?
No. What is the
Commonwealth.
next question? What is the largest contributor to the economy of Kentucky?
What's got you on Kentucky this week?
I just like the song that he wrote. I wish you'd let me sing it.
You can
But
if you want to.
their economy is carried. Well, one thing that got me was the Kentucky Derby.
Was that this? Okay, so that's what got you thinking about Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Well, that's good to know.
But their economy is carried by what?
I don't
What
know.
product? You don't have any idea?
Kentucky.
It's not horse racing.
I was thinking horses.
Well, you know it.
The
but you know,
bluegrass state.
it's because, but when we went to the Amish country in Ohio, they told us the #1 state to supply them with the horses they needed for their farming operations was Tennessee.
Oh, really?
They'd give $3,000 for a good horse.
Really?
That's what they told us.
So that's good to know.
Okay, you don't know
It'd be
that?
the Louisville Sluggers.
Those baseball bats are made in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
You're right, buddy.
I know
But that's
some
not-
Kentucky trivia.
But you would think, I'm not going to give you a hint. Next question.
Yeah, Lord
Our
forbid you
30
do that.
Our 35th president's name was John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
What does the F stand for?
Fitzgerald. Yeah.
Wow, you got 1 right.
I got 2 right, thank
got
you.
2 right. That's good, Billy.
Yeah, because these aren't that easy.
There's some people wouldn't know that. What does, in the president's name that was president during World War II, what does the S stand for in Harry S. Truman?
Harry S. Truman.
That's not a question, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. You got me thinking.
Okay. Last question.
Okay.
What year was President John F. Kennedy assassinated and where?
Okay, he was assassinated was he assassinated in Dallas, Texas?
Dallas is the correct city.
Okay.
And what year?
What year? 1963. I got it.
That's
yes.
very good, Billy. That's very good. You got that one right,
2 points for Billy.
and you got that one right. Okay,
So I got some of those right.
you're doing good. You're doing good. So we're ready for
I'm
sports.
on a roll, Allie. I got at least 3
You said
right.
you got. Well, you named 2 of the frontiersmen,
Mm-hmm.
and you named 1 of the states that also shared in the title Commonwealth.
Commonwealth. You don't know any Commonwealths?
There's 4. And you remember last week?
Delaware.
Close.
Close.
You remember? I said close. Let's go sports.
It's not time yet, so you need to try to give
Well,
me some
you-
clues.
Well, you said one, Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've been talking about one of them.
Kentucky?
Kentucky's
I
Commonwealth.
would have never guessed that.
And
Commonwealth?
listen, you probably won't ever guess their economic mover either.
No, I don't think I will.
And you won't ever guess the others. They're up east.
The Commonwealths?
Yeah, I don't know why they are.
So they're going to be New England, I bet. New England states.
One of them is, yeah. One of them's Eastern. But why in the world would the other 46 states just go by state, and 4 of them get to share in the title of Commonwealth and state?
Yeah, I mean, who come up with that idea?
Tell me. I didn't.
I
It wasn't
don't
my
know.
idea.
You're the history buff. I thought you might would know.
I'll have to find that one.
You have
That'll
to
be one of my trivia questions.
Yeah, you have to research it. The
But-
Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Is that one?
Yeah.
That just
But
sounded
now,
right.
where did you? What fed that to you?
New England.
Ah, you
New
guessed
England. Yes.
Massachusetts.
Is there another one in that area?
No, it'll be. I said east.
Well, Massachusetts is east.
Yeah, I know it. But
So
it's-
I've named
Over.
Virginia, Kentucky, and Massachusetts. So there's
got
one
3.
more,
You did well. You did well.
and it's up north, right?
No, I didn't say that. I
It's
said it's the
east.
eastern state. You got Massachusetts. That's up north. It's east. It's
But
up
it don't
north.
mean it's up north, though.
No.
Commonwealth of North Carolina,
No.
West Virginia.
Quit guessing.
Well, we got time. I might as well.
Listen, did you hear what I said about one of our places that's not a state yet wanting to be a state, Puerto Rico? They're a
Yes.
territory. They want to be our 51st state.
Why don't they let them?
Well, why do they
What's-
want to let them?
I don't know.
Mess up your flag.
Oh, it must have.
Where are you going to put 51 states on that flag?
Well, that's just a dang good reason there to deny them.
Well, now, yesterday was Flag Day.
Okay, that's right.
How many stripes on the flag?
Gosh.
And why?
13 is
But why?
because it was 13 states to begin with.
Well, they weren't right. They were 13 original
Well, colonies.
And so then as each became a state.
But you know what I meant.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But how many stars are there?
50.
One for each state.
Mm-hmm.
Where you gonna put one more? Where you gonna put one more star?
I don't know. Maybe they won't get a star.
But can you understand why they would want to be a state?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Why be a stepchild when you can be a child?
right. Right. But aren't they their own country though?
Well,
So
they
why
were
wouldn't
they
want
were their own
that?
country to begin with, but we let them become a territory.
Well,
But
that must be.
Hawaii.
That must help 'em.
Hawaii had that status for a good while.
That's true.
And we
They're
made
very similar. Two
about
islands.
Alaska.
Yeah. Same thing.
We granted Alaska statehood, and they're not in the original 48.
Mm-mm.
And Hawaii is not in the original 48.
Nowhere
They're scattered
close.
why did we grant them statehood?
That I don't know, because they're a long
So
ways
that's what
away.
Puerto Rico is saying. Why them and not us?
I kind of agree with that. Puerto Rico's even closer.
They want to be under the umbrella. Why don't we
Yeah.
make Cuba one? I don't think.
I don't think that'll ever happen.
Fidel wouldn't like that. would
I
he?
don't think so.
He's not.
He
Well,
passed away.
Yeah, but his brother.
Yeah. I don't know if they're any better than him though.
I don't think they would like it.
No.
But there are enough people living in the United States that are Cubans.
True.
Probably, if we put it to
Especially
a
South
vote,
Florida.
if we put it to a vote, they'd probably
That
carry.
might would. But we can go to sports now.
Are you ready for sports?
Yes, we're ready for sports.
Sports of all sorts.
Sports of all
I'm
sorts.
gonna throw one at you today you never heard of before.
You know, somehow I'm not surprised by that
you don't
one
like
bit.
you don't like marbles. You don't
I
like
do
tiddlywinks.
They're not sports. They're games.
Okay.
So what's today's crazy?
No, well, I'm not ready for it. But the 800,
Okay.
The 800-pound gorilla has left the room. The NBA finals are over.
Golden State, congratulations to Golden State.
They
beat
won.
Cleveland, what, 4 games to 2? 4 games to 1?
4 games to 1.
So they nearly swept Cleveland.
Well, no, that game, Cleveland won that game.
Yeah.
They won that game. They gave a good account of themselves for one game.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, of course, the last game they only got beat 9 points, 129-120.
Well, it was at Cleveland. I thought Cleveland would maybe make it more of a series than
No,
what
the last
they did.
game was at Golden State.
Oh, was it? Well, Golden State didn't lose any at home in the
No.
playoffs.
Here's the thing about it.
They only lost 1 game, period, the whole playoffs.
They only lost 1 game.
That is very, very hard to do.
So they were 16-1, would that be, or 17-1? They were 15.
One of the two.
I believe they were 12-0, and then they started the last series and they won 4. So it'd be 16-1.
16-1. Wow.
But in the last 3 years, this
Amazing.
the first time this has ever happened in any professional sport. 3 teams vied for the championship 3 consecutive years. 2 teams.
2 teams.
For 3 years.
Well, I told you why. They're both stacked. It's not fair. They'll be the 4 and 5 years probably, because who's going to beat them?
All right, now in the paper this week, Curry and Kevin Durant have been touting the fact we are a dynasty.
Yes.
Guess what? One big star on the horizon says they're right, and that's King LeBron James. He says they are a dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 3 years, they've been there 3 times. They've won 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
So they
I
have.
guess you call it a dynasty. But
Well, that may be premature, but
Yeah.
by the same token, no other 3 teams have ever been there when it's all said and done, except those 2.
mm-hmm.
I mean, 3 years, 2 teams.
Now the Celtics get the first draft pick though.
Yeah, they do.
So, and they were the 3rd best team this year, so they might make things.
But
they might shake it up a little bit.
How many franchise players do you see around?
Right. Exactly.
Kevin Durant had to play for 10 years in obscurity. And then he decided to
Oklahoma
cast his
City.
lot with a chance to have a ring. And he got his ring.
Now I wonder if he'll stay
Why do you think LeBron James left Cleveland to begin with, to go to Miami?
to get championship.
He wanted a ring.
Mm-hmm.
And he got it.
Yeah.
Then he decided to go back to Cleveland and get another ring.
And he got
And he
them
got
a
it.
ring. Yep.
So he's only 32 years old, but let me tell you,
Yeah, he's got more time.
I saw in these 5 games, I saw instances where LeBron James was a step slower.
So he looked human.
Yes, he did. He could not keep up with Stephen Curry.
Yeah. Well,
But
he's bigger than Curry.
He's
Curry's
bigger.
fast.
He's bigger, but he's also 32.
Yeah. I mean, really though, that's not old. He's got
No,
a
that's
ways
not
to
old, but
go.
I'm just saying he can't keep up. He's lost a step, half a step. I'll say
Yeah,
he's lost
probably
half
half a step. Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see if this next year that this materializes into the dynasty that each team is saying.
I
Golden
hope
State's
not.
saying we will, and LeBron James says they will too. He says you can't stop it.
Now, for Cleveland to be a dynasty, they're going to have to win more than 1 championship. He can call it what he
No,
wants.
no. James said they were.
Okay,
He said Golden State.
State. Yeah. You got to
was
win
saying-
at least 2 championships to even get in that conversation.
Well,
But I think it'll probably be them next year unless the Celtics can really challenge them. We'll see how they do in the NBA draft.
well, okay, we'll have to wait a while and see.
But see, you know, the Celtics and Spurs, though, the only teams that are going to challenge them at all. It's going to have to be one of those teams that steps up and does it.
Or if something happens to one of the other players on one of the team.
Yeah, injuries.
But
Injuries
now,
play a huge role.
Cleveland,
Yeah.
James had a little bit of help.
Oh, yeah.
Love and Irving. Irving got 40 points in that
Yeah.
game.
They helped out a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
But you've got to have a scoring punch that will give you 75 to 80 points.
Yeah, you do.
You've got to
You
have it.
do.
Okay, In basketball also, Tennessee. Tennessee. What's the name of our coach? Barnes.
Which one? Oh yeah, Rick Barnes.
Yeah, in the men's side.
basketball is Rick Barnes.
He says we may be young, but we're more experienced. We've got a year under our belt.
Yeah, they were thrown to the wolves last year.
He's got 8 returning players, and he's got 5 new players coming on the scene. Some already got some time under their belt. So Barnes says that our picture is rosier coming up, and I think he's going to try to get some attention off of him in his hot seat.
I'm sure.
But we did fade last year. We did fade right down the stretch. We did not have it.
No.
So he says that we're going to do better than last year.
Well, I would hope so. Yeah.
Well, 16-16.
It's not good.
No, it's not too good.
So I think they will improve from that.
Okay.
I don't know if we can expect a whole lot, though. It's going to be the same players.
Well, there's a couple of imports coming in that transfers, and he says they're going to have an immediate impact. I mean, they're going to be in the lineup.
You like to hear that?
They're going to be in the lineup.
Okay.
They don't have to weave their way in. He says he sees where they're going to contribute.
That's good. That's
and you know
good.
they got to have playing time. Okay.
Absolutely.
The oddball. To the south of us, as Bledsoe County High School floats the boat, there is a school called Whitwell High School.
Yep, in Marion County.
Whitwell has a fishing team in the high school. Listen.
Oh, that's crazy.
A fishing team. They have
a school that small can have a fishing team.
But they're competing in the Costa Bassmaster High School National Tournament in Paris, Tennessee, next June the 22nd through the 24th.
What about that?
5,550 students are competing in a fishing tournament.
I would have never guessed that. Would you?
It's going to be on Kentucky Lake. I fished Kentucky Lake.
Oh, that's Paris, Tennessee.
Yeah, but wouldn't it have been something if we'd had a fishing team when I went to high school? I fished every day.
You've been the champ.
I fished every day. I'm not saying I caught a lot of fish. I caught a lot of water dogs. But my mother cooked fish for me. I love fish. But back then,
we need to have a fish fry.
back then the fish I caught were not very big. We just cooked the whole thing. we just gutted it and took the scales off and fried the whole fish. We could put a 7 or 8 in a skillet, I guess.
You're making me want to eat some fish and hush puppies.
You know, now let me tell you, I can make good hush puppies.
I know. I'm saying
And
we need a fish fry, don't we, Allie?
I like my fish I fry.
I like it too, so
Fresh fish.
get to frying.
I don't have any. You know what I just got to doing just right then?
What?
I read a letter today. No, I got a phone call this morning about my Operation Monday.
Right?
They said don't have any jewelry on. Well, I immediately felt for my ring that has been on that finger since 1953, and it was gone. I mean, I had to take it off. It's gone.
Oh.
But Carolyn bought me a ring that's on this finger. I guess it's been on there 50 years. And they told me to get them off. I didn't think I could.
I'm not surprised.
But now I've been feeling for them. They're gone.
Yeah, like you feel weird without them.
But I'm glad I got them off. I was going to have to cut them off.
Yeah.
Horse racing in sports. I told you sports of all sorts.
Back to Kentucky. He's obsessed with
No.
Kentucky today.
The third leg of the Triple Crown was run at Belmont Stakes last Saturday.
Okay.
June the 10th, that's last Saturday. At Elkmont, New York. The Kentucky Derby winner was Always Dreaming. And the Preakness winner, the name of the Preakness was Cloud Computing. Neither one of them chose to race in the third leg of the Triple Crown. Well, the winner, Classic Empire,
Yeah.
the one I thought should win the Kentucky Derby, was
Yes.
scratched because of an abscess. So there's a 12-horse field wide open. Who's going to win it? Okay, Irish War Cry was the name of the horse that came in 10th in the Derby, but won the 3rd leg of the Triple Crown, the Belmont Stakes. Looking at Lee is the only horse competing that had been in all 3.
Wow, that's shocking there.
Okay, Looking at Lee finished 2nd in the Kentucky Derby and 4th in the Preakness. But the winner was Tapwrit.
What?
Tapwrit, T-A-P-W-R-I-T, Tapwrit.
Okay.
And that fish finished 6th in the Kentucky Derby. 57,000 fans watched this.
Did you say that fish? Did you say fish? You did.
Finished.
You said that fish. Finished 6.
Well, finished.
There you go. I know you said it because production's nodding their heads. Yes.
57,000 people went to see a horse race.
That's a lot of people to watch.
You know why
race.
most of them go? To bet.
To gamble.
To gamble.
Yeah.
See, it's legal there.
That's right.
Legal gambling.
Mm-hmm.
Legalized gambling is what you call it.
There and in Nevada.
Did you read where some little convenience store sold the winning ticket for the lottery of $440 million, and the little convenience store got $1 million for selling the winning ticket?
Ooh!
It showed the people that worked at that convenience store on television. They were just shouting.
I bet.
They got $1 million just for selling the ticket.
Dang.
What in the world would you let a prize get to the magnitude of $440 million? Who could even dream of $440 million?
I could dream of it.
What would you do? What would you do with $1 million?
I'd figure it out.
I would pay it on my debts just as far as it goes.
So you'd pay off all your debts.
Basically.
So. Especially $440 million.
You don't think I owe you money on a 20-year-old car?
I don't think so.
Baseball.
All right, we got 2 minutes.
Tim Tebow is playing baseball. He's been in 49 games. He's batting .226. Wow. Tim Tebow.
That's weird.
The bus rides last 10 hours to go to the next town to play a ball game.
He must just love it
He has to.
because it don't sound like he's that good at it, so he must love it.
The Braves are in 4th position, 10 games out of 1st. The Chicago Cubs, last year's winner, they're in 2nd place, game and a half back. My Dodgers were on top yesterday.
Okay.
Today they're 1.5 behind. They're in 3rd place.
Man.
No, they're a half a game behind. They're in 3rd place.
It's all bunched together really close.
Tennessee hired a new baseball coach. They got rid of.
Yes, we
fellow
knew
who's there.
that.
He was from Arkansas. His name is Tony Vitello.
Okay.
And Tony has been in the NCAA tournament 9 consecutive years.
Sounds like
Some
a
of
good
those
coach.
years, he was at TCU, Missouri, but lately he's been at Arkansas. Well, now he's been an assistant. Now they're giving him a chance giving him a fling at being a head coach, and Tennessee said, "We want you. You've got experience going to the tournament. We've not been there. How many years?"
Yeah. That's a good move. That's
well, let's see.
Hopefully.
We were there about 11 or 12 years ago, I think.
Yeah.
Football, I don't understand. Bob Stoops retired last week. I do not understand why. Bob Stoops, his predecessors were 2 great coaches, Bud Wilkinson and Barry Switzer. He beat them both. He had a better record than both of them, and he chose to step aside.
He's not giving a reason.
No really.
There's a reason. We just don't know it yet.
But the biggie was UTC losing their athletic director. He just quit. David Blackman. We thought Tennessee was going to get him.
I know.
He just stepped down.
Because he wanted that job.
I wonder if that was the thing.
That's what it sounds like to
But
me.
the paper says, it was on the headlines. He said, "I want to pursue other interests," whatever that is.
That's sad because he's been a good athletic director for them. So that's sad.
He has really changed the scene down there.
He has.
But they'll have a hard time replacing him.
I agree. Well, that's it for sports of all sorts.
All sorts.
And coming up after the break, your favorite time, Albertology, coming up next.
I'm ready.
And welcome back to the Albert and Billy Show. And it's time for Albertology.
I'm primed and cocked.
I figured.
Many of our listeners and viewers, no doubt, remember Charles Schulz. And the popular strip he drew for 50 years, Peanuts and the Charlie Brown Gang.
Brown.
Well, I have here the last comic strip that he drew.
Mm-hmm. We're showing everybody a picture of that. So that was the very last comic strip he drew.
Right. And he said...
What year was that?
I don't remember what year it was.
Okay.
But he said he would not continue the strip, that he was going to retire the strip as he retired. And this is what he wrote. Dear friends, I have been fortunate to draw Charlie Brown and his friends for almost 50 years.
Wow.
It has been the fulfillment of my childhood ambition. Unfortunately, I am no longer able to maintain the schedule demanded by a daily comic strip.
Yeah.
My family does not wish Peanuts to be continued by anyone else.
I understand that.
Therefore, I am announcing my retirement. I have been grateful over the years for the loyalty of our editors and the wonderful support and love expressed to me by fans of the comic strip. Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Linus, Lucy. How can I ever forget them? Charles Schulz.
Oh, I'm sure.
And you know, of those characters, I think I have got several pictures of Snoopy that I've drawn.
Yeah, you do.
One of Snoopy's ice skates.
Yes.
And one I've drawn driving instead of reindeer, the little bird is out there leading the sleigh. But I've got a couple of Christmas scenes that I've drawn of all of them around the Christmas tree But I have enjoyed drawing Charles Schulz characters.
Well, you do.
And you can't even tell the difference in my drawings and his.
I know it.
I bet you don't. Okay, how much money do you make here? Don't answer that.
Right.
But let's suppose that we were to look around at some of the earnings that people earn. This year, a high school history teacher in Modesto, California made $72,000. This year, do you know Jimmy Kimmel, the host for the late night TV?
Yeah.
His earnings last year between 13 and 15 million.
Wow.
Just to be a host of a television show?
Yeah,
and say something smart every once in a while, or wild,
or
funny.
That's a lot of money for that, isn't it?
A commercial fisherwoman in Alaska, her earnings last year, $100,000.
Not bad.
Not bad. And I love those kids down there. Whitwell's not got a bad idea.
Exactly.
An astronaut.
They may go on to make some good money in fishing.
Right.
An astronaut, you'd think, would make a lot. I thought they'd make more than that.
$158,000 for an astronaut, Scott Kelly in Houston, Texas.
You'd think they'd make more than that, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, that's not
such a dangerous job.
And that's history teacher that's pretty good, $72,000 for school teacher.
I think so too.
Wouldn't make that in Bledsoe County, would you?
No, or
but
any small town.
Listen to this now. Elvis Presley, his earnings last year were $27 million. And he's dead.
Estate, yes.
But it was his estate. They sold over 1 million albums last year.
It's amazing because it's from so long ago.
And he's dead.
Yeah.
But you know what? Listen. People say that God is dead and Elvis is alive. Can you figure that? Can you figure that?
Yeah, there's that conspiracy theory there.
It blows my mind. I got this book that I bought up in Crossville for 50 cents. This is what happened back in 1931. I was not around.
Okay.
But the Empire State Building opened in 1931.
Okay.
Empire State Building.
That's big.
Congress made the Star-Spangled Banner our second national anthem. I don't know what the first one was.
I don't either.
And In 1931, in the month of November, Babe Ruth hit home run number 600.
Wow, big year.
Big year. You remember Al Capone? No, you weren't around, but you've heard of Al Capone.
Absolutely.
Scarface Al Capone. Well, he was
A
sentenced.
gangster.
He was sentenced to 11 years in prison. What for? Tax evasion.
Of all the things that he did, and they got him for that. No telling how many people he murdered or had murdered.
But that's what happened in
crazy.
1931. Also,
But the mafia was very powerful then, though.
times were
Very
bad
powerful.
in 31 because this is the period of the Great Depression.
Right.
Unemployment reached 8 million in the United States. Grasshoppers overran Iowa, Nebraska, and South Carolina. You would
Well, that's
remember
odd.
Dick Tracy. But Dick Tracy was a detective.
But I've heard of Dick Tracy, yes.
He wore a yellow trench coat. Well, his comic strip made its debut in 1931.
Okay.
Chester Gould was the man that drew him. Lived in Oklahoma. Thomas Edison. You've heard of Thomas Edison? Look at all these lines. He died in 1931.
Wow.
And the first female baseball player, professional,
Female.
played for the Chattanooga Lookouts. Did
In
you know that?
1931.
1931. Also,
about that?
a new house in 1931 cost $6,796.
Well, it was still like that.
Can you believe it?
No.
The average income per person was $1,858. A new car cost $640.
Goodness.
An average rent was $18 a month. You're not going to believe this, but in 1955, here in Pikeville, Tennessee, my wife and I paid $20 a month.
That is
Sure did.
just unheard of now.
Gasoline was 10 cents a gallon. Postage stamp cost 2 cents. Buy a 10-pound bag of sugar for 55 cents. Milk, 50 cents a gallon. Coffee, 33 cents a pound.
Man alive.
Eggs were 16 cents a dozen. Hamburger was 11 cents a pound.
Everything was cheap.
William
But
Shatner.
people weren't making big money either.
No.
Yeah.
William Shatner was born.
That's a big deal.
James
He
Earl
went on
Jones.
to be very
you
famous.
remember James Earl Jones, the actor? His voice is so resonant.
Well, yeah, it's distinct.
Yeah. Field of Dreams, I remember he did that. He's in that.
Was he born then or something?
Yeah, 1931.
I didn't know that.
So Shatner's not much older than me. But James Earl Jones, Field of Dreams, what I remember him for. But
But
he's
James
also
Earl Jones was born then too.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's in Darth Vader. He was in that Star Wars. Somewhere.
He was in a lot of movies.
He's been good.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got one or two more items here.
Who had thought so much happened in 1931?
That's all. But
Big year.
wonderful year, but I wasn't there. I started this a couple of months ago, the Veteran of the Month.
Veteran of the Month.
Veteran
I
of the
like that.
Actor and comedian Rob Riggle is known for his hilarious roles in popular movies like The Hangover and 21 Jump Street.
Both good movies, by the way.
But before Riggle was starring in comedies with Bradley Cooper or doing sketches on Saturday Night Live, he was a hard-charging, butt-kicking Marine.
Was he now?
And Riggle, who has been working on a comedy project for ABC, took his military role very seriously. I love being a Marine, he said. It's a great honor.
I
And
didn't
not to
know
sound
that.
too corny, but I really love my country. So he was a Marine and been in the reserves for 14 years, but he retired in 2013. And
Is that when he got into acting or
he
something?
was in the Marine Corps. He retired as a well, I forget what he was really high up in the Marine. I forget what. But he was in Afghanistan.
Okay.
But now, Riggle has learned in the military, it helped him to navigate the cutthroat world of Hollywood. That's where he wound up. The
know.
Marines gave me a thick skin.
Well, you have to have one there.
So he's given back to fellow veterans in many ways, such as performing at the USO facilities.
Good.
And he does a golf tournament for veterans.
A celebrity golf tournament?
Yeah, Semper Fi. And he provides financial assistance to those the Wounded Warrior Project, you know?
Yeah, that's a really
He's big
good
in that.
thing.
Although he's retired, he still holds the Marine Corps in the highest regard. I miss being a Marine.
He says he misses it.
But he is a retired lieutenant colonel. That was his rank.
Well, he's in some funny movies, that's for sure. I didn't know all that about him, but he's in some really good movies.
Now, you know I've been to the Rocky Mountains.
I know.
The Rocky Mountains are the longest chain of mountains in the world.
Wow.
They divide the United States watershed between the Atlantic Ocean on the East Coast and the Pacific Ocean on the West Coast.
That's true.
They have 53 peaks over 14,000 feet high. Pikes Peak is the highest.
I didn't know that. I knew about Pikes Peak, but I didn't know they had that many.
I've been up Pikes Peak. They have 250 peaks that are over 13,000 feet high.
Wow.
But they are grand.
That's what, you'll hear people say, you just think you have mountains here. The Rocky Mountains, go there. Those are mountains. I've heard people say that.
Carolyn was really impressed with the Grand Tetons.
Yeah.
It's just unreal. It's just unreal. But Pikes Peak is too, because going up, as you get higher and higher, your nose will start bleeding. Mine didn't, but Carolyn's did. And you get to...
I wouldn't like that part.
You have paved roads up so far, and then when you get to a certain level, they know, because of the temperatures, there's no sense putting it down, so all you got is gravel.
Right, yeah.
And on the way back down, at all the points that you stop, is to check your brakes, because they want you to come down safely.
That's good.
But the main thing that I learned about Pikes Peak is the fellow that Pikes Peak was named after is the same fellow that Pikeville, Tennessee was named after.
You're kidding.
You don't believe me, do you?
Well, I didn't know that.
His name was Zebulon Pike.
Did not know that.
This point now that divides the watershed this way, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. You can drop 2 ping pong balls simultaneously, and one will go to the West Coast, East Coast, and one will go to the West Coast. That's called the Continental Divide.
Okay.
So now
That's amazing, isn't it?
But I've been there, done that. Thanks to Carolyn's brother and wife.
Right.
Ask Marilyn.
I've not missed her none.
Say a man walks into, now get this, say a man walks into a grocery store, steals a $100 bill from the cash register.
Now who steals it? Who?
A man just walked into a grocery store
okay.
and stole $100 out of the till. A man stole a $20 bill out of our till one day up there. A girl that was training,
yeah.
She had her door open and he got a $20 bill.
Well, that is crazy.
We got him.
Well, good.
A man walks into a grocery store and he steals a $100 bill. Listen now.
Well, listen,
and then
that's
he
your
leaves.
favorite word. Now listen.
Marilyn wants you to get this.
Her? No, she don't. They're all too hard.
No one saw him get it. No one saw him leave. Later, he comes back in the store and he takes a buggy and shops and gets $70 worth of groceries.
Okay.
He pays for it with the $100 bill.
Ooh.
They gave him back $30 in change out of his $100 bill.
Right, right.
How much does the grocer lose in the transaction? He stole a $100 bill from them.
So they obviously lost $100 at least.
He paid for his groceries, $70 worth, and got back $30 in change. So how much did the grocer lose?
$60.
You think they were $60?
I don't know. I mean, they lost $100, but then he give it back.
He gave him the $100 bill.
But they lost $100.
You are smart. I'm telling you, I wrestled with that for 4 days before I figured that out.
Oh, I had a little help from my lifeline over there.
Well, they got their $100 bill back.
Okay. Okay.
So they gave him $30 back.
Yeah.
And he had $70 worth of groceries. So
Okay.
that's it. All right.
Well, good job, Allie. Those are tough, though. That's
Well,
Maryland.
I
Allie's
said-
so proud of herself right now.
I said you have to listen to the facts and you figure it out.
But yeah, we sometimes do.
Okay. Ask Marilyn.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you one more. When an earth
Great. Pay attention, Allie.
When an earthquake occurs, followed by a stronger jolt, which is the earthquake and which is the foreshock or aftershock? Have you ever heard of that? When an earthquake.
Heard of aftershock? I'm not heard of.
I've never heard of a foreshock.
Never. So that's a very tough question.
Okay.
Now you're going to say it again, I believe.
Well, when an earthquake occurs,
Okay.
followed by a stronger jolt, which is the foreshock.
That's the aftershock, isn't it?
Well,
If it's after the earthquake.
Okay, but she says which is
Okay.
the stronger, the earthquake, or let's see, which is the earthquake and which is the foreshock or which is the aftershock. I don't know which. But what Marilyn says, foreshocks are earthquakes
Okay.
that precede larger quakes in the same place. The largest quake is the main shock. I didn't know that. And aftershocks are the smaller earthquakes
That occur after.
that take place after the main shock.
Yes, I did know that.
Let me tell you something. No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to use it later.
Wow. Get her hopes up for nothing.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to, there's three of them here. I'm trying to figure out which one to use.
Well, they're all hard, so it don't matter. They're all ridiculous.
All right. When I was driving in an intense thunderstorm, I twice saw a blood red lightning flash.
Blood red.
How can this be? I thought lightning was white.
Me too.
I thought it was always white. And Marilyn says, you're lucky. You witnessed a fabulous phenomenon known as a red sprite.
Oh, at least she's telling us the answer this
These
time. I like
startling
that.
electrical displays take many forms.
Red Sprite.
Yeah,
What
that's
about
what it's
that?
called. Some of these may frighten observers, and they don't know what they are, but they are clusters of
Sure.
charged particles that form above thunderstorms, which is why they're rarely seen from the ground. They're above a thunderstorm.
Okay.
So blue, green, and purple flashes also
Wow.
occur. I never heard
But
of
I've never heard of that nor seen it.
it. Nor have I.
So that's very interesting.
Very interesting.
Don't want to see it either. No wonder they got scared.
But now,
Seeing red lightning, blood lightning.
going back to
Don't see that.
going back to Pikes Peak and Rocky Mountains,
Okay.
one of the
Old Faithful.
stalwarts about the Rocky Mountains
Yellowstone.
is Yellowstone National Park. We went there, and Old Faithful. Let me tell you how faithful Old Faithful is.
You do that.
Every 75 minutes, shing.
Right. Oh, I know. You can even watch it online. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
You can just sit and watch it. I've actually done that
Okay,
for some reason. I don't know why. It's been a long time ago, but you could just watch people, lining up to watch it.
that water is so hot that it will animals will get too close, and it'll kill some of the animals there.
Really?
First thing that
I can see that.
the welcoming committee that welcomed us when we drove in was a big buffalo right up the main road. We got out of the way. This article,
Get your drink there.
This article
There you
is
go.
about some scientists putting a probe down in Old Faithful to see
Okay.
where all this came from. They thought it was one main force of water.
Okay.
but it was a bunch of streams of water building up down there, and it gets so hot that it creates steam, and that's what causes the eruption. And it is so regular that they can tabulate it and say, wait 75 minutes, you'll see another one.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's crazy.
geysers erupt when water heated deep within the earth turns to steam, and it rises through underground channels. That relieves pressure on the water below, which, like an uncapped pressure cooker, explodes into steam that blasts water into the air. Old Faithful spews about 5,000 gallons of water in 2-minute bursts or longer,
That's
and some of them
amazing.
last 3 to 5 minutes. That is something else.
That really is. That's amazing.
But I got to see it.
You got some.
Stories?
You saw her that time.
These are beautiful. Listen,
Beautiful.
3 friends.
Beautiful, I tell you.
3 friends, a surgeon, an engineer, and a politician, are conversing about their professions, and they want to know which one of them has been around the longest.
Okay.
So the surgeon says, well, I had to be first because Adam's rib was taken out of him to form Eve, so therefore surgery was done by God.
Good point.
So I'm the
point.
oldest.
Right.
Well, the engineer said, well, wait a minute. Before Adam and Eve, there was chaos.
Okay.
And so that was an engineering job. So I was there.
Good point again.
Out of chaos, I created order.
Okay.
The politician said, well, yeah, but who do you think caused all that chaos?
The politician.
Okay. The family's going to the movies.
Okay.
Mom and Dad's ready, and they said to the kids, get ready to leave right now. Right now.
Right now.
Well, when they said that, the daughter went to the bathroom to put her makeup on.
Of course.
And Dad said, immediately get in the car. So on the way to the movies, Dad looks in the rearview mirror, and there she is putting lipstick on and blush and everything. And he said, look at your mom. She didn't have to put on all that makeup to go to a dark movie.
Right. Right.
And the girl said, yeah, but Mom doesn't need makeup. Well, Mom is tickled to death to hear her daughter say that. Her head's swelling up. That makes her feel real good. And so then the back said, as she finished up her conversation, she said, nobody looks at Mom. Mom head didn't swell anymore.
That shrunk it real quick.
Listen,
Tell a couple more.
Susie's husband had been slipping in and out of a coma for several months. Things looked grim, but she was by his bedside every day. And one day, as he slipped back into consciousness, he motioned for her to come close to him. And she pulled the chair over to the bed and leaned over her ear where she could hear what he had to say.
Okay.
And he whispers, and he says, you know, his eyes filled with tears.
Right.
You've been with me through all the good times and bad times. When I got fired, you stuck with me. When my business went under, you were there. When we lost the house, you didn't leave. And when I got shot, you were right there beside me. When my health started failing, you didn't leave me. And then he said, and you know what? And she bent over real close and he said, I believe you're bad luck.
She probably knocked him upside the head, didn't she? You got time for one more, but I was sitting there thinking, boy, they've got some bad things happen to them.
I bet his name was Albert. A man wrote a letter to a hotel that he planned to stay at while he was on vacation.
Okay.
And he had a dog. And he let them know, I would like to bring my dog with me on vacation.
Okay.
Would you let him stay with me? And he went on to say about his dog, he is well behaved, he is well groomed. Would you be willing to permit me to let him in the room with me? The hotel owner replied with a letter. And he said, I've been operating hotels for 30 years. I've never had a dog steal bedclothes. I've never had one steal towels.
Right.
I've never had one to steal silverware or pictures off the walls.
No.
I've never had to kick a dog in the middle of the night for being drunk or disorderly. And I've never had a dog skip out on paying a bill.
Right.
So yes, your dog is welcome in my hotel. And if your dog will vouch for you, you're welcome too. So man, he's a good dog.
Absolutely. You got time for one more.
Okay. A computer tech was in a couple's home trying to fix their internet connection.
Mm-hmm.
And the husband called out to his wife in the other room
Okay.
for the computer password. And
Yeah,
she
you gotta
said,
have that.
start with a capital S, then 1, 2, 3, she said back. So they tried S, 1, 2, 3 several times, but it didn't work. So they called her in the room with them, and the wife put the password in, and then she muttered as she left, I really don't know what's so difficult about typing S-T-A-R-T 1, 2, 3. They just got the capital S.
Yeah, that's what I was sitting there thinking, so I get it now.
Okay, let me give one more.
One more, and then we'll end it.
Bill's second anniversary was coming up,
Okay.
and he wanted to get his wife something special. So he asked his friends, his co-workers, his clients, anyone he happened to run into, what they thought would be a good anniversary present for his second anniversary. So he finally decided after everyone had their input, I'll give her flowers. So
You can't go wrong with that.
So he picked up the phone and he called them and told them what he wanted. He wanted the biggest, best bouquet of flowers that he could get.
Okay.
And so he wanted to be sure that he was home the next morning whenever they delivered them. And so he told them, he said, I want you to say, happy anniversary, year number 2. That's what he wanted the note to say.
Okay.
So the next morning he's in the kitchen when the doorbell rings and the florist delivers the flowers. And whenever the florist leaves, his wife yells from the foyer in the living room to the kitchen, what the heck is this all about? He doesn't have an idea, he doesn't have a clue.
Okay.
So she rushes into the kitchen and she hands him the note. And it said, happy anniversary, you're number 2.
Oh.
Just got something misspelled there.
Well, they messed that up, didn't they?
That would be my luck.
Yeah, no kidding.
I had a problem. Carolyn
my luck,
didn't
too.
like flowers and she didn't like candy.
Ooh, that's two of the biggest things there.
And she had 60 anniversaries.
Ooh, you had to get
I
creative.
had 60 anniversaries too, didn't I?
You had to get creative, didn't you?
I took her fishing. Bought her a fishing rod.
Well, thanks to the Nickel Row Music Hall.
This has been nice.
Yeah, we're letting us film here today. We're going to be filming in different locations over the summer, so stay tuned for that. And you have your surgery Monday.
Monday.
And
I go in at 3:15 in the morning.
that is too early.
I hope the doctor can stay awake.
I hope so too. I hope so too.
I don't care whether I'm awake or not.
Well, we might give him 2 or 3 weeks off. We'll think about it.
With pay.
Right, with pay.
That's good. That's good.
And I'll have different co-hosts while Papa is out recovering from surgery. So be sure to tune in still to the Albert and Billy Show, and he'll be back really quick because we'll make sure of that. But good luck to you on your surgery.
Thank you, Billy.
All right. And thanks for watching, guys, on Channel 18 Valley TV. That's it for now for the
See you,
Albert and
folks.
Billy Show.